Okay, is it me or did it something off with
No,
the intro? It
no.
felt like it felt like at least from my end looked like something was glitchy or I don't know. My computer's on
Oh.
crack today. Hello everybody. Welcome to Caliber and Character. I am one of your hosts, Vol Storm. With me as always is the lovely, the beautiful, the talented dictionary diva. Diva, how are you?
I'm all right. Thank you for that fabulous introduction. That didn't sound glitchy at all.
Good, good. I'm glad
Yeah,
it didn't.
that was
No,
perfect.
it was the intro I was worried about, not me.
Oh, okay. Now the
I said,
intro, it seemed maybe a little shorter, but I'm not really sure.
yeah, who knows? Who
I
knows?
don't know. Oh.
We're all just trying to figure this out. It's not going to be. We don't get paid for this, so frankly, don't care.
Well, even when I get paid for things, I'm not so sure I care about that either.
Depends on what the job is.
That's
Depends on
true.
what the job is. It's been a hell of a week, hasn't it, Diva?
Oh my gosh. Hell of a past 2 weeks
I know
for
it.
me. Yeah.
I know it. It's been lots of ups and downs, but here we are.
Yeah.
Hey, Shawnee's in the chat.
Oh,
Happy
sweet.
Sunday to you.
Maybe I should pull that up so I can see who's chatting with us.
I know. It's it's like the first couple times we didn't even bother to look at the chat, and it's like, oh, hey, there's
Oh,
people in the chat. How
what do
about that?
you know? I know, and I'm always afraid, you know, that I'm going to overlook something.
I usually do. I just
Yeah.
forget it and drive on.
We're human.
Exactly. Exactly.
Very human.
So the title that I posted for the podcast was The Most Important Question. The reason I posted that is because what's the one question even a little child will constantly ask you?
Why?
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 And probably more specifically, it's it's not so much why are you doing it, but what is your why? What is your, I guess to kind of summarize it, what's your motivation for doing what you do? It's something that you and I had talked about last weekend, but I mean everything got kind of crazy, so we weren't able to do anything
We
with the
weren't.
podcast. Which, hey, we're at this point we're kind of like a rave. We just pop up,
Just pop up.
you know. We don't schedule anything in advance. We don't put up advance notice. We just kind of pop up. Anyway, what led to this was I'm gonna pull up this article. We were listening to Denzel Washington doing
Ooh,
a
Denzel.
speech. Ooh, Denzel.
Ooh, Denzel.
He was doing a speech at Dillard University, and a lot of the things that he said really resonated with both of us, but there was one part in particular. Let me go ahead and pull this up. See, look, there's Denzel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The name of his speech was called Put God First, delivered during a commencement address at Dillard University in 2015. Transcript has been edited for near 100% accuracy for those who are learning English with such speeches. Okay, I don't know why they felt the
Okay.
need to
Yeah,
do
why did they
that.
have to explain that? But
I,
I'm
I,
okay.
I guess. One of the quotes from it: "Put God first in everything you do. Everything you think you see in me, everything I've accomplished, everything that you think I have, and a few things. Everything that I have is by the grace of God. Understand that it's a gift." There's one part in particular, and if y'all will bear with us, I'm gonna scroll down just toward the end. So I apologize for. Let's see. Here we go. Here's the part that really kind of resonated with the both of us. Say thank you in advance for what's already yours. So that's how I live my life. That's why one of the reasons I'm here today. Say thank you in advance for what is already yours. True desire in the heart for anything good is God's proof to you sent beforehand to indicate it's yours already. I'll say it again. True desire in the heart, that itch that you have, whatever it is you want to do, that thing that you want to do to help others and to grow and to make money, that desire, that itch, that's God's proof to you, sent beforehand, already to indicate that it's yours.
Mm-hmm.
And anything you want good, I think he really emphasizes that. Anything you
Good.
want that's good,
Mm-hmm.
you can have. So claim it. Work hard to get it. When you get it, reach back, pull someone else up. Each one, teach one. Don't just aspire to make a living, aspire to make a difference.
Yeah.
Now, tell me how that spoke to you.
That spoke to me because personally, I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to figure out what is it that's good that I want. And in doing these podcasts, you and I, we've had like I guess it was 2 weeks ago, the last one that we uploaded.
Yeah.
We were talking about how hard it is hustling on the YouTube streets.
Yeah, exactly.
And how working in that environment, it's easy to lose track of your focus, what your why was to begin a channel or a message or a conversation. It's easy to lose track of your why. And even when you're looking at changing careers or moving from one thing to another, or even in your family, sometimes you don't really have time to make the decision. You're just reacting, and your why can get lost. So that's what I took from it in a broad picture. That's not a very good answer, but
No. I think that's pretty well said. Kind of the way it spoke to me was when you have that drive, when you have that motivation, when you have when you
you are a little
that
glitchy,
why is
actually.
kind of created in you. I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
You just kind of cut out here and there.
well, maybe may just be
Yep.
me. Is it still doing it?
Maybe.
Are you sure?
Yeah. A little bit. Only when you're speaking. So if you're not speaking, I don't.
God. Or it could
Uh,
just be your headphones.
it's all good.
Um,
It
what
could
it
be.
what it what it kind of told me was that desire that you have in you, that is God's way of telling you that it's yours, but you have to take it.
Right.
You know, that motivation is you know, he said in his speech that that is God's way of telling you beforehand that, hey, that's yours,
Right.
but you have to put in the work.
You've got to put in the work. Yeah. You've got to put in the work. It doesn't just come to you. And
No.
I think that's something that we had talked about too was some people do feel that God is a vending machine and they can just come up and say, "Hey, I want this," and push the button and expect it to be delivered.
Right.
And that's not how faith works really at all. We had talked about how people mature in their faith with growing in that maturity where you realize God isn't the vending machine. He or the divine power, if you don't have to assign gender to God. Nobody really does. But things are put before you. Sometimes they're tests to build your faith. And sometimes they're meant to make you grow and mature in this life. And then sometimes a seed is planted in your heart for something that you desire. And you were good about pointing out how Denzel makes it clear whatever that is good that is put in your heart. As my dog sneezed. but those good things when they're put in your heart, then that's That's a sign that if you work for it, it is there for you.
Right. And I know it's Sunday, and believe me, we're not on here to preach to anybody,
Oh,
because we're
everything
imperfect
happens
we're imperfect beings just like everybody else.
completely.
Um, but I think that it kind of it kind of gets down to what is your motivation? What
Yeah.
is it that drives you? When you have that idea in your head, when you have that, I want to do this, I want to be a big um, YouTube star. I want to be a big influencer. That's what I was trying to think
Oh,
of.
yeah. Influencer.
When you want to
You're
be an
making me think of a
influence,
song.
yeah. When you want to be an influencer on TikTok or on
Oh,
Instagram or whatever it is you do, what is it that drives you? That this was kind of Denzel's way of saying, hey, if what you're wanting is good, then that desire is kind of your key that you can have it if you put in the work. But what about things that aren't good?
and how do
Again,
you make that differentiation? How do you tell?
right. What is your why? Are you doing things because you want the attention? Are you doing things to be able to get monetized? I mean, it's I'm not here to I'm not here to say one way or the other what's right and what's wrong. I think people know in their hearts, but it's kind of like what is your motivation?
We had talked before a little bit about getting into this realm of just YouTubing, but I think it can go broader than that. Some folks have insecurities or driving forces that maybe are not pure. Maybe they're not good. The need for the house that's nicer than what they grew up in. That may sound very simple, like, yeah, I'd like a house nicer than what I grew up in. But if there is any insecurity or angst related to that desire, then maybe your motivation isn't good.
Right. I
Um,
think I think everybody wants to be able to provide for their family, make
mhm.
sure they're well taken care of, but at what point does it reach, you're just trying to keep up with the Joneses?
Right, right. And you have to ask yourself, at when is it too much? When does that needle start tipping away from being good into something more selfish and nefarious?
Right.
Yeah,
It, at what point is it just for the attention?
right.
At what point is it, I'm putting on a persona just to be able to, make money, which again, I'm a capitalist, so I have no problem with that.
Well, what's funny is even when you do start out with good intent, there are forces at play that do try to derail your good intent.
Right. At what point do you see it going off the rails?
Right, right. When does it go off the rails? It's hard to know.
I think that's when the why starts becoming a problem because you can go in with good intentions, oh, I'm only going to do this, I'm doing it for this reason, and then circumstances change and then your motivation changes. It's
Right.
well, in order for me able to reach out, which is to a broad spectrum of people, which is kind of your goal, well, I'm going to have to start doing this, so I'm going to have to start doing this, and then it gets to the point to where your motivation becomes, i have to um, I have to do whatever I have to do to gain more followers, gain more subscribers,
Yeah.
gain more attention of some sort in order for me to accomplish my goal. And we always find a way to be able to justify it.
That reminds me of something. I don't know. It was probably like a month or more ago on a Friday Night Live that we were on,
Yeah.
and somebody had brought up Jenna Sparkles. I had never heard of Jenna Sparkles,
Yeah.
so I look her up, and her content was just really cute, mostly about her dogs and stuff. And then I see that she just stopped, like cut it off,
Right.
no more content, like about 2 years ago. And I was like, what happened? Why? It was sweet. It was sweet content.
Right.
Silly. And somebody on the tubes had accused her of cultural appropriation or being, what's the word? Insensitive to people, something. It was,
Right.
yeah, and I was like, wow. And she had like 19 million followers or something like that, subscribers. And it just shows that even when the mission is good, something can come through and derail it.
Right. It's I think if you put yourself out there on any social media platform, you've got to have thick skin.
Mm.
Because there's going to be people that are jealous. There's going to be people that just are not on your side of the political spectrum, or for
Mm-hmm.
lack of a better term, because look at you look at things a certain way, that you're gonna have haters.
Oh yeah.
You're just gonna have haters, and sometimes you have to have thick skin. Oh, Mountain Girl's in the chat.
I know. Look at that. Hey,
Hey,
mountain girl.
Shawnee says, I went down a TikTok rabbit hole yesterday, and oh my God, I was like so glad that my choice of YouTube creators has been completely genuine and organic.
Yeah. Yeah. It gets, I will not download TikTok. I've got
No.
friends.
Oh,
I've got
hell
friends.
no.
I'm like, no, I've gotten myself caught into the Instagram reels. I've gotten caught in those
Yes.
and the YouTube shorts, and I've lost hours
Oh,
just
it's
falling down.
it's so funny. You're sitting there and you think, okay, well, I'm gonna check this out, and then next thing you know, it's like an hour later. It's like, oh my God, I've been going through so many of these videos. Again, why the hell am I doing this?
And I'm dumber now than when I started.
Yeah.
I've lost brain cells.
Gee, I don't know why nothing got done today.
I have no clean underwear. Oh well.
Oh well.
Oh well.
I'll worry about that tomorrow.
Yes, I'll worry about that tomorrow.
Ah, Squaw Bob showed up. White Rabbit's
White rabbit.
here.
Goodness gracious. Wow.
Oh my goodness, we're getting flooded.
I don't know if I can keep up.
Oh God, the expert's here.
No.
Oh no.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah. A rave popped up and everybody showed up.
A rave. It's a rave. Where's the ketamine? That's
See
apparently
it.
a
See,
new
it's so
thing.
easy to get distracted.
It is. It's very easy. Right. We've lost track of our why.
Yeah,
Come on,
it's.
Volstorm.
I know. Well, it's why am I on here? I'm on here to. I don't know. Run my mouth, basically.
No. I truly believe that if you can identify your why, it
Well,
really helps you to maintain that thick skin.
one thing you and I talked about is, I guess this is a question that needs to be answered. Why did we decide to do this?
Why did we decide to do this?
We decided to do this because you and I would have these long, lengthy discussions. I mean, kind of really go deep into topic. Sometimes we jump around, but for the most part, we'd stay on topic.
Most of the time.
And then it's like, after being exposed to YouTube and everything else. Sorry, I keep coming back to YouTube.
Huh.
But we were like, well, why don't we just sit down and record this stuff?
Yeah.
Do it
Well,
live.
my why was I love podcasts. I either use
Right.
them to learn from or to go to sleep to. And I love that. And then I also love audiobooks. So I had been interested in like voice recording. I don't know,
Right.
a good 2 or more years before
Right.
2020. I'd been really interested in it. And I'd been like looking at equipment to get audio equipment. Then I had a friend who asked me if I would narrate one of her books for her.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, sure. And around the same time, that's when the expert who's in the chat
Yeah.
said,
Thanks a lot.
hey guys, you want to be on our show? I was like, uh, okay. I think it'll be fun. And it kind of was it was a good way to get into this because I'd already been thinking about it.
One thing
So
it
that,
did for me, because I mean, you could even ask him. I resisted for the longest time coming on. I resisted. I resisted. I'm laughing because I'm reading the chat. Um, and then finally, I was like, okay, I'll come on, I'll do it, whatever. And then it got to the point to where I was comfortable enough doing this
yeah,
that it made it easier for us to kind of do our thing.
yeah, it did. It did. And then I still, because faith is very strong for me. Like, I don't apostatize it. I think that's the right word.
Right.
I don't quite put it out there, but it guides me with everything I do. And either it's trying to bring me back to my center, like, oh, I'm straying, or it helps guide me to where I want to go. And just like the Denzel speech says, anything that's good in your heart, it was put there before you. And it's God's way of letting you know that it is there for you. You just have to work for it. So, going back to the why, into this realm of being in social media, your why can feel painful sometimes, at
Yeah.
least in my opinion. Um,
No, because you have to be, for your why, you have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be willing to sacrifice something. You're sacrificing your time. You're sacrificing responsibilities.
mm,
You can sacrifice money. It's you're going to have to make sacrifices to be able to accomplish your goal. But I think if it's something that is pure and is true and that has good intentions, like real good intentions, not the road to hell is paved with.
the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That's
But
right.
I think that it's worth it. And God, experts, stop. No pants, okay? There's no pants.
Literally, I have no pants on.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
already I've already changed clothes, so there's no pants.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
You know how and I never went to a church camp or anything.
Right.
But I can only imagine you've got some of those kids, they're like, "Yeah, I'm go to the church camp." But they go and they're rowdy as heck. I could imagine the expert would be.
Well, I have been to church camp,
Tell me about it.
and we would every year. This was in during high school, so went to it for 4 years. We would go down there, and a lot of them were going just to be able to go to the beach. To be honest, yeah, yes, there was a strong message, and it was church, but you had so many of them, because we're all teenagers. It was motivated by, hey, I get to go to the beach. That was their why. Hey, I'm
Well,
going to the beach.
did any of them bring any fun stuff? Any
I'm
illicit
I'm not
substances?
getting into that.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's a whole world I never
Yeah,
got to encounter.
yeah. I'm trying to protect the guilty at this point.
Squab Bob says, God sees us naked.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, God sees us
exactly.
naked.
Clothes are for people; they're not for God.
I know. Dogs don't wear clothes. Well, some dogs do wear clothes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've seen some of them people put, them ugly sweaters on dogs and cats and booties and all kinds of stuff.
Meow.
I'm
That reminds me.
I'm pretty sure the expert in White Rabbit have a sweater somewhere for one of their dogs.
They probably do. One day they'll have to do a short for the dogs in a sweater. I think that would be cute.
Expert, was it one hump or two?
Thus, the fascination with camels.
Yes.
Being in a Christmas play as a camel.
Shawnee says, I went for the ski trip and there may have been a variety of
Yes.
beverages. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That happens. That happens.
Oh my gosh.
And some
That's
of them
so
under the counselor's purview, too. So
no way.
that's why I'm
Really?
not, yeah. That's why I'm not going to get into it.
I'm so naive to this stuff. I'd have been the prude. I would have been such a prude if I'd have been on one of those.
See, believe it or not, I was kind of quiet as a teenager. I guess that's why I'm so damn loud now. But I observed quite a bit.
You were just a casual observer.
I was a casual observer, kind of like I am now. I'm a casual observer of life. It's just
Casual
now
observer.
now I have a platform to run my mouth.
Right.
That's my why. That's it. That's my why.
That's your why?
Why do I get on here? Because I now have a platform to be able to run my mouth.
Well, you had Twitter, but that was your thumbs,
Well,
I guess. You couldn't really run your mouth.
I'm still on Twitter.
Yeah, I know.
I still run my mouth on Twitter. I'm not as nice on Twitter as I am on here.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
like I said, folks, I'm not perfect by any means.
No.
And I really make no apologies for it.
Yeah. Well, I was saying something about starting another channel calling it Salty Granola.
Yes.
Just where all those mean things I want to say, I could have a venue for it.
That's why I have Twitter.
Yeah, that's why you've got Twitter. I don't have enough patience for Twitter. I'm like, oh God, scroll.
You have to learn to be able to dig through the weeds.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you could hear that. There was some puppy ear flaps in the background.
Well, of course.
Of course.
I mean, the pups got to have their platform too.
They do.
Expert said salted granola is rabbit poop.
Ew.
Did he just out White Rabbit?
He may have.
That's wrong.
That was completely wrong. Twitter is another rabbit hole. That's true.
Yeah,
That's so true.
It just doesn't have all the videos and pictures.
No. Well, you can. Doesn't it have links though to stuff?
Yeah, sometimes, but
click
it's
on
not
links?
like where on YouTube you can kind of search through there and you'll see, boom, there's the video. Twitter is more of you have to read.
Yes. You know what I just thought of?
What's that?
You know that one content creator that I found, Officer Tatum?
Yeah.
And his stuff is really good because he points out the stuff that's happening in the world and reviews it, critiques it. But his store, he has a merchandise store, and all of his stuff is faith centered, which is really cool.
Right.
But he keeps it real. He keeps it very real.
Oh yeah. Well,
which I think is good.
But okay, that does tie back into our original topic, since expert keeps trying to get me off of it.
Squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel.
No, camel.
Camel. That's what it is. Camel. It's you can, at least I feel like I can watch a video. I can read stuff on Twitter. I can see stuff on Instagram, whatever. And you can kind of tell who's on there just being them and who's on there to try to get attention.
Yeah. I think you think of folks like Denzel who have this kind of grit to them, but also this kind of calm presence. What was it you called it? stage presence. There's a word
Yeah,
for it.
like gravitas,
Gravitas. Yes,
gravitas, whatever.
he has this presence about him, and you know he is a strong fella. You don't meet a lot of people like that nowadays.
No,
That just
no, go ahead, go ahead.
they just have this kind of presence, and they are sound in their faith. You know, like you could say stuff to them, but it won't shake them.
I've found that the people that are more like that are the kind of people that have really been through some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The people that have really been battle tested, for lack of a better word,
Mm-hmm.
they're not the ones that get shook up. They're not the ones that are, going to blow in the wind. They're the ones that I am who I am and I'm not apologizing for it.
Right. Right.
And so to me, their why um, holds a little more water
Yeah.
than some of the other ones that I could tell. Yeah, you just hadn't been through some stuff yet.
Right. Right. You've not been through it. Uh,
RJ,
Oh,
RJ
is
has
RJ
arrived.
here?
RJ
Holy
has
cow.
arrived.
What in the world?
But but that's so to me. Their why holds a little more weight for me. It's just me personally. The people that I can tell that have really been through some stuff and that have some real experience and have been through some real hard times. And I'm not saying that they're the ones that go around acting like a jerk or I've and brag about it. They're the ones that are like, yeah, I've been through some stuff. So this little piddly whatever, it doesn't hold as much water for me.
Right.
It doesn't mean as much to me as it would somebody else.
I'm sorry. I'm being distracted by a dog.
That's about right.
I know. I know. His tail wags and puppy dog eyes. Can't help it.
I mean, you've met people like that.
I have met people like that. People who have got like a false bravado to them.
Right.
You know, they can fool some people, and people are like, "Oh, that person's so great. They're wonderful. Look at all they do." But then their motivate. Oh, perfect example.
Go
Perfect
for it.
example. So I've worked in different nonprofit charities before,
Yes.
and with amazing missions. Like one was drug abuse, substance abuse
Right.
in the inner city. And I just got involved just to help out, you know. Um, I had been asked to just create a promotional flyer. That's it. That's all I was doing.
Right.
And somebody had gotten so mad that I had done it. Not
What?
mad that I was asked, but mad that I did it.
Why? Why?
There was, I think, maybe there was some jealousy there. I don't know. And then that turned me, I looked inward and I said, so why did I join this organization to begin with? And I wanted to help, but I also realized I wanted to feel better about myself. And when I made that realization, then I understood that my involvement was false. It wasn't for the right reasons, not fully. You know, like if you could break it down into a percentage, 75% was I wanted to feel better about where I was, and 25% was me wanting to help other people. And I've
Well,
seen that in another organization too, in which my rationale then was actually 100% pure. I did want to help. But the infighting and the drama that was within that network,
right.
it wasn't worth it to me. It did not serve me, and it went against my why. So I was like, I'll just slowly back out of this.
Yeah. It's I mean, I know in talking to you, you've you've definitely encountered it, and I've encountered it, where you can easily go into something for the right reasons, and then the next thing you know, it's, oh, well, I'm not getting the attention. I'm
Mm,
not getting the respect I feel I deserve. You
right.
know,
Right.
to me, you know, what's the old saying? Respect is earned, not given.
Yeah.
And there are some people that think because, well, I have a certain degree of education, I've done this, I should automatically come in and get respect. And these people don't know you. They don't know what you can do.
No. You need to say, what is it Cartman says? Respect my authority.
Respect my authority.
Yeah. That's what I hear when I hear some people who are like, well, I did this. Oh, God. Yeah. The event that I was just part of, I had somebody walk up to me and said, well, I was one of the organizers of this such and such years ago. And I thought, well, good for you. Just, well, how nice.
How nice.
How nice.
One day I will tell you guys the joke about how nice.
But my Botox is worn off on my face. So
They
oh,
can't see your face
I know they
anyway.
can't say, well, especially right there when it's a still like that. So I know that my "Oh, how nice" actually said what it really meant to say, because you can see it all over my face.
Okay, fine, I'll tell the joke. All right. There's these three Southern belles sitting around, and they're all talking about what, how rich they are and what their husbands have done for them. And they look at the first one and say, well, what'd your husband do for you? She said, my husband bought me this house. He bought me this expensive car and just all these wonderful things. The second one nods, and the third one says, well, how nice. So they asked the second one, what'd your husband do for you? She said, my husband takes me on these wonderful vacations. He buys me all this wonderful jewelry. The first one nods her head, and the third one says, well, how nice. A couple of minutes go by, nothing said. They finally look at the third one and said, and what did your husband do for you? She said, my husband sent me to charm school. They said, charm school? What did you learn at charm school? She said, I learned how to say how nice instead of fuck you.
Well, how nice.
How nice.
Yes, that's a good joke.
RJ, Sully, and who are the other two? Take your pick.
Take your pick. Oh my gosh.
So from now on, whenever you hear me say how nice, you know what it means. Well,
Oh,
how
there's
nice.
some conversation about RJ being the Messiah in the chat. What?
No, that's not
What?
true. I've known RJ from Twitter since before I got over here. He is anything but.
One of the rowdy crew.
Definitely.
That's so funny. Well, I don't know how much more I can elaborate on this topic. Really?
Well, I will say in my experience, I have come across, because I'm not going to say the field that I work in, but there's a lot of egos in it,
Yeah.
and especially with the newer younger ones, there's a lot of ego because there's not a lot of experience,
Yeah.
but they think they have it. So that's when usually they start getting blustery. They start, well, you need to listen to me because I'm this and this and this. And you just look at them kind of like, you have no idea.
Mhm. You have no experience yet.
You have no experience yet.
Life hasn't slapped you across the face yet.
there's a lot of people that come out of college thinking, well, I should automatically start making this because I went to college and I got a degree.
Yeah.
You don't have any experience. I understand
Yeah.
your why, but your why needs to be, I need to have a better understanding of my field in the real world.
Yeah. I work with somebody like that right now.
Yeah.
Came out of came out of college feeling proud of themselves, which you should, you've completed something.
Right.
But they automatically assume that they have the same level of skill as everyone else or better. They feel like they might even be better. And there's a level of ego to that. Arrogance. That's the word I was trying to find. The arrogance that comes with it. And I had mentioned to that person, I said, it's good that you have, that kind of confidence within yourself. But also keep in mind that you were kind of sold a bill of goods about that college degree because they had also reached that jaded point where they're like, this degree's not really doing anything for me.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
well, you were kind of pushed into the machine of the college industry finance system and you just didn't know it.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know where my point was with that. Anyway, camel.
Camel. 100%. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know how far we've gotten off the track
I think we got, yeah.
at this point.
I feel like the train kind of left the station and then took several wrong.
I blame the expert at this point.
It's not his fault. I'm pretty sure it's not.
Okay. I I take full responsibility for letting myself getting distracted by the expert. And
Yeah.
see, all the other people in the chat are wonderful.
God,
I just pick on him.
you are.
Well, yeah.
Hate,
I'm,
hate, hate,
I'm
hate.
allowed to
You need to do a player haters ball.
play a hater's ball. Maybe that'll be the next podcast, the player haters ball.
I think that would be fun.
Oh my gosh.
I still want to do the McLaughlin group, but
Wrong. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming in and listening to us ramble. Evidently,
yeah.
we had good intentions. Our
did.
why was to actually talk about the topic, and then we kind of got off topic. So
A little bit.
but that happens, and
It does.
Again, thanks everybody for coming out. We appreciate it. If you like listening to us ramble, please hit the like and subscribe button, and we will see you guys next time.